If we sit him right in.
Graciously allowed me to be in charge of this interview, Marianne.
Yes,
so
yes.
we have Marianne Sherman from the North Central Arkansas Humane Society, and who is this?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Yes,
What kind of
yes.
dog is Buddy?
Well, he is a German Shepherd mix, and we see a lot of German Shepherd in here, and I don't know what else there is, but something bigger than most Shepherds are, because he is one big dude. He really is.
And how old would you say he is?
Buddy is about 8 years old now,
8 years
and
old.
so that puts him into mature. He is now mature,
Oh.
and this is why one of the things I always like to tell everybody about when they're adopting a dog that's not a puppy, not a youngster, is the advantages. You know what you're going to get.
That's
you know
true.
who the dog is. You know what kind of temperament he's got, and all about him. And like this one is one of the things is he's a hugger. He definitely wants hugs. And he just shoves in. He's going to get one more hug for the road, but he does. And then
he's like a big lap dog, isn't he?
He is. He is, and he's gentle. I mean, when you look at his face, you can just see who he is.
Look at that.
I mean,
face.
you look at that face, and that's who he is.
And now,
Just as sweet as can be.
how did he end up at the shelter?
Well, he was turned into us. Now,
Okay.
sometimes they come as strays. They can come in all different kinds of ways, of course. He was released to us, and it was a situation where the family was moving, and for whatever reason, they could not take him with them when they on their move.
Okay.
So then he checks in with us, and now it's up to us then to rehome him. Now, today he had his first obedience class. So on Wednesdays, they go to obedience school.
Oh.
And he does. There's not much to train. He's so good already.
Well, I was going to say, just the little bit he's been in the studio, he's very well behaved.
He is so well behaved already.
How would he do with children, do you think?
Yeah. Now, for most shepherds, I know, love children as far as that goes. We'll know more about that. Now, there's nothing as far as a warning that he doesn't get along with children. There's nothing like that.
Okay.
And then as he goes into pet fairs and he sees more and more people that visit the shelter and interacts more, then we'll have even a better idea. But most shepherds that I know, they really like kids a lot.
Would he do better being the only dog, or
he's very friendly with the other dogs.
I noticed he was good with Singer.
Yeah, I know he is, and also in obedience class, of course, he's surrounded by other dogs in obedience training, so that went very well. We had a very good impression of him today. But again, you should with an 8-year-old dog.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, you should expect that. You should expect a certain level of behavior.
Now, was he an outdoor dog before, or do you know?
I doubt it. I
Okay.
doubt it. I know they were saying about how clean he is. He's just neat and tidy, and his dog run is never messy. He doesn't throw his water around. He's just Mr. Neat and tidy on everything he does. Yeah, he's just the perfect pet.
He just is very well behaved.
He is
I'm
really
very
the perfect
impressed with
pet.
how well behaved he is. Now, if someone's interested in Buddy, how do they?
Well, then
get hold of
they
you?
would just come on down, and particularly like if they have another dog, then we would ask that they do a meet and greet. If you have another dog, we require that you bring your dog.
Oh, really?
Your
Okay.
dog then would meet our dog, and let's see if they get along.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. And then if that's all copacetic, then we can progress on to the rest of the adoption process. And that's, filling out the forms and answering the questions, and you get an interview. You also get a starter package. We start you with the dog food they've been on, so that you can gradually change that over to your dog food and not upset their stomachs. We try to think of everything.
Wow,
we
that's
really,
very
really
nice.
do. They also get free follow-up obedience lessons. You come, and I'm the one that does this. And then mostly what I'm doing is training the new owners.
Okay.
More than the dog. The dog's already trained.
And as far as the shots and everything, he'll be up to date when he's adopted.
And the spay neuter is already done too. All of the big things are taken care of, and then from there on, it's there. And then of course we also, once a Humane Society dog, always a Humane Society dog. If it fails, it comes back to us.
Oh, okay.
And that's really an important part. And then if you've got any questions or any concerns or problems that you're having, I'm always available. And they get my card with my phone number, my home phone number, and then I'm available for help there too.
Okay.
So, because we don't want anybody have an unhappy adoption.
No.
We want the dog safe. We want the people happy.
What's the phone number at the Humane Society if they want to?
425-9221 is our office telephone number. And we're open from 10 o'clock in the morning until 6 at night. We used to be not so much, but now we're open clear until 6. So that gives people time, particularly we're finding like when they get off work, there's time to run over, and it's really helped our adoption rate by doing this. Saturdays are a little bit shorter. We stop at 4 on Saturday. And but the rest of the week it's 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock, and that's then the only day we're not open then is Sunday. But the rest of the time, you know, we are there, and we're run so much by volunteers. My program is all volunteers. We have volunteers in the office. We have volunteers in the thrift shop. The thrift shop pays so much of our bills. It really does. Yes, yes. We have sponsorships now. That's another thing. For people that love animals and there's no way they can own an animal, they can come down and pick one out and be a sponsor.
Oh, that's
and that is so popular. People are loving this program.
I like that idea. For
$10 a month and you're a sponsor.
Oh, well, this is a great dog. Now, how long has he been at this shelter?
Just a very short amount of time. He's pretty new here. Yeah.
This is a great dog. Now, as far as the adoption process, how long does it take once the initial visit?
You can have the adoption finished that day. Your dog can go home that day. And now, once in a great while, we'll have one that may not. Well, I know we have one where the veterinarian was backed up on spay neuters, and so we had to wait to get a spay done. But other than that, they go home that day. It'll all be done in just a very, they always say, well, oh my gosh, it's like adopting a child by the time they get everything done. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then they get it done. And usually within that day. And if we have to wait for a spay, as soon as that's done, then they can go home with their new home then.
But there does have to be a home visit?
No, we don't have home visits. We do follow-up interviews as well.
Follow-up interviews.
That's done by phone.
All right.
And you're going to get that, and so that we can see if there's anything going on that's not okay, and we want to intercede as quickly as we can and fix whatever is wrong, or take the animal back, whichever whatever is the best situation for each case.
Well, I would guess that Buddy will not last too long once people see him.
And once they get him, he's going to be a keeper.
He is. I can just tell by looking at him. He is just so lovable.
When you just look at him.
It looks like he does shed a little bit though.
Yes, he's a shepherd. So you're going to have the 2 big times a year on this. Your spring and your fall sheds. Those are going to be your big ones. And then just a couple times a week, brush them out, and then you're going to be good to go. But yet you're going to have some hair with a shepherd.
I have never known too many dogs not to shed.
No,
that's been my experience with them.
Oh, we did have one. We had a Chinese crested, no hair.
A Chinese crested.
They're bald.
That's
a little tuft to hair.
A little tuft and on the paws.
To hair,
Well, you don't want to have hair loss with that because then
you would have nothing.
Is Dan signaling me? Yes, all right, he's signaling me. So give them your phone number one more time if they are interested in Buddy.
425-9221, and come on out and see him.
Yes, and you've got other great dogs as well.
Oh,
and cats
a lot of older small dogs. So people that want a settled, calm dog. Oh,
there are
right
advantages
now, come see us. And for big dog people, we've got several big dogs too.
Well, thank you for being here, Marianne, and thank you for being here, Buddy. And I guess Dan is signaling me, so that means I have to cut it. And the next guest will be, the next guests are Enoch Pippin and Seth Odegaard with LC Salmon's Youth Center.
Yes.
Tongue-tied there.
Yes.
And we'll be right back. Yay!